Here you guys are. Been a while. How we doing? We're getting a little echo. We're echoing.
Echo. It's not me.
I'm not hearing echo.
All right. It's just me. Technical difficulties.
I heard it. I
have to cut
heard
out
it.
the broadcast. Like, did you see the World Series cut out in the middle of the broadcast?
Yeah.
It was like game one. It was game one. Yeah, it was insane.
Like, is that the crazy? I feel like that's never happened before. But
no, it hasn't. That was.
We are not going to do that. We have more than one. We have our satellite truck is raring to go. We got plenty of power. The generator's running, so we're here to bring you good fun reptile turtle time. It's been a while. Thank you for tuning in. Those of you that are tuned in. I know we had some issues with the link. I guess because some people couldn't find it. Hopefully you were able to join us. I'm John. This is Pondcast number 19. We have it's been so long that we don't have a lot of really we don't have a lot of topical or specific conversations we have, but actually each of us has been on a trip since when was the last time we did? Tell me, it wasn't July. Was it July? Was that the last one that we did?
It was.
So since July, since June or July, a lot has gone on. So we're just going to kind of update you guys on what's going on with our lives. So, anyone else? Tony, what's new? What do we got? You want to say hi or?
I do, and I'd also like to say that I wanted to have a bit of fun tonight, and I know.
Oh man.
I know, and you know how fun I can be, right?
Oh yeah. You got some gems.
I do. I really do.
We like to have fun here at the Turtle Room. We have fun.
For the viewers, because obviously 2 nights ago was Halloween.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I have a lot of candy. I haven't eaten it all, contrary to popular belief, as people might be thinking. I'm a large American.
Peanut butter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I got some candy. So periodically throughout the broadcast, I'd like to. You know how people play drinking games with popular movies and sporting events and things like that. When something happens over and over again, you take a shot or whatever. I've never done that, but I've heard of it being done. So I'm going to do the same thing with my candies tonight.
Nice. That's perfect. That's such a perfect idea. Hold on, let me get my candy. You should have told me about this.
Candy? Okay, good. Yeah. I thought this was the funniest thing. So listen. So I thought anytime Steve did something nerdy, or anytime John said something stupid, I was going to have a candy. Oh, look at Hugh Hefner over here. He's got the girls coming out in the robe. Oh my gosh. Just kidding. I know her.
That was not my wife. She was not wearing a robe, so how dare you.
That wasn't a robe? It looked like a robe to me.
No, it was a robe. Oh,
it was a robe. Sorry. I get it. Oh, I get it. I get it.
So we finished that. We're going to do when Steve says something dumb, when Tony says something a fat person would say, and what was mine?
No, Steve doesn't. See, this is what's funny. Steve doesn't say dumb things.
How about
Steve says nerdy things?
When Steve calls someone a real know-it-all.
Every time Steve says...
We were talking smack before we aired, and Steve started being like, this guy is something or other, and he really is a real... I thought he was going to let it loose, and he said he's a real know-it-all.
Every time Steve says...
That would have been a nerdy thing. Actually, have a piece of candy.
Every time Steve says golly gee, I'm gonna eat some candy.
I'm starting with this Nestle Crunch.
No, why? No one said anything dumb.
You said the nerdy thing before we aired.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
Here's a tip.
I think what's funnier is if you just eat it, you don't have to say anything. Like, you just eat it.
Obviously, it will turn to that. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, so what is it seriously, though? When Steve says something nerdy, when I say something dumb,
yeah.
I don't know if I have enough candy. I only have this punch bowl. What's yours, though?
You said if I said anything a fat person would say, or I think if I wheeze, or if I have any
anything related to unhealthy overweightness.
Yeah, or like if I.
What are you at right now, by the way? Because you look good.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, you look. Yeah, I mean, your face.
I'm about 310 right now.
No, really?
310 pounds. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Speaking.
You're picking back up, huh?
A little bit. Yep.
I've been
not a lot. A little bit.
You did the shred for the wed. Now you're back. You're back to your old eating habits.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna happen.
It's Halloween. It's the holidays are coming up. So
The holidays. The
I'm gonna be
holidays.
fat until I can't run.
Until Labor Day.
Yeah, I'm gonna be fat until I can't run, and then I'll start getting back into it.
Speaking of which, you'll be proud of me, Tony. I've been meaning to tell you this for a long time, and I decided to save it for this. I want you to guess what I put on some weight. I want you to guess what I'm weighing in at right now.
For the put on some weight, 153.
Nah, you dog. You know it all.
For the viewers at home, John is 6'9".
Hold on. Let me.
Not bad. That was
you needed a full body shot.
That's like the buffest I've ever seen olive oil in my entire life.
All right, so what's the guess?
He didn't hear what I said. Perfect.
Oh, I didn't hear you say.
195.
You're such a... See, this is like, haha.
205.
I weigh 218 pounds right now.
218?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
My whole life. I have a stomach. Like, I'm a grown man now.
That's amazing, man. I'm proud of you.
It happened overnight, all at once.
Well, you got married. That's what happens when you get married.
It was right before that.
Even to you skinny guys, that's what happens. I remember when I was 218. Second grade, Miss Gaylord's class. Lovely. You're supposed to have a candy.
That's a good point. Lemonade.
Woo! Oh, man. I'll get you up to my weight real quick.
Oh. Well, the thing is that, so I bought the candy and nobody came to my house. So I have a lot of it, and I went to the dollar store and got a package of all sour candy. So they're not really big weight gaining candies, I don't think.
Yeah, they are.
I need more chocolate.
They're all weight gaining candies to me. Just saying.
That's what you call pasta. Weight gaining candies.
Right. That's tortellini. That's what we give out on Halloween in my house too. Just handfuls of cooked tortellini with no sauce.
So bear with us while I chew this lemon head.
Well, let's start talking about some traveling that we've all been doing.
Let's start it. So you went down to.
You want to talk about me
first? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Your trip was chronologically first, Anthony.
Good. Okay.
Oh, Steve.
Oh.
Lemon had me.
You're right. I used the word chronologically.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
This is the best idea ever.
Right?
Now I wish I had a Reese's pumpkin, man. Them things are good.
They're so much better than normal Reese's because you have to have one because I said that.
They're like the eggs.
Yeah, because they're fresher. You don't ever get like a chalky one that's been sitting on the shelf for 2 years.
What do you mean they're fresher?
They just are, okay? The skinny guy wouldn't understand, but yeah, a Reese's around Halloween time that comes off the shelves. It's fresh. It's only been there for a couple weeks, whereas a Reese's peanut butter cup could honestly be sitting there for 3 years, hypothetically. I'm just saying. So anyway, I went to Florida, right? Yeah, so I went to Florida. I was also prepared with my whole milk here.
Damn it! I should have thought of that.
Yeah.
Ew,
but
you have all chocolate?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll mix it up.
And the full glass of milk.
Yeah. You don't get to look like this, without having some chocolate and milk once in a while. So anyway,
I'm opening up a warhead.
Prove it. So, yeah, we really had a great time in Florida. We went. If I'm not mistaken, we did 4 pretty fun things while we were down there. The first of which was going to Gatorland, which was amazing. Now, I've been to Gatorland before. If anyone hasn't been to Gatorland, go. They filmed. What's the name of Temple of Doom? The Indiana Jones movie, Temple of Doom.
Jones, yeah.
That was filmed at Gatorland when they're falling off those bridges, and all the gators are eating the bodies or whatever. That was filmed at Gatorland.
Interesting.
What part of the movie is that?
I don't know. Some point. Well, it might not be Temple of Doom. It might be another Indiana Jones film. I never said I was a film buff, but especially for Indiana Jones. I mean, Harrison Ford is dreamy and everything, but
were they crossing the bridge?
Yeah, I think like the bridges are being cut and stuff, and then there's like a couple shots where they're
There's
falling.
a scene like that at the end of Temple of Doom when he's the guy's trying to rip his heart out. But I don't remember crocodiles from that, or gators, or anything. They fell off a bridge though.
I don't know. I just know one of the Indiana Jones movies was filmed there.
Digression. Go ahead.
I mean the specifics. Yeah, I'm not claiming to be a film buff here, but it's a great place. It was one of those things like my wife's cousin's husband's daughter's friend. That just happened. And that's legitimate. Is a manager there, and he's the nicest guy ever. His name's Donnie. He's awesome, and he does all the shows. So these guys are like really talented, talented, and for absolutely no reason, just because I was like a friend of a relative of a friend of a relative. I was able to get like behind the scenes access. So normally we throw around like the turtle room thing and try to get like behind the scenes access at zoos, and usually it works if we get to them, in enough time ahead of time and go through their PR departments and stuff. We can get behind the scenes, but like this was the best treatment I've ever gotten in my entire life for anything. Like he would change his outfits to walk me across the park to different places to like jump in with different turtles that they had to show me what they had. It was awesome. It was amazing. So
change his outfit like what?
Like change his boots or change his, like just to be able to jump into now like a water habitat to grab some turtles with his bare hands for me to show me up close. Like really awesome stuff. And for no reason. And it cost nothing. It was the most amazing treatment I've ever had in my life. It was awesome. And it's a great place to go to. I mean, I went when I was 4 years old. I have pictures of me there when I was 4 years old that I reenacted when I went back, like sitting on the gator statue, but this time with my daughter, which was pretty cool. And
the recreation pictures are big now.
Yeah, right. That's what I was trying to do, except I didn't really have any outfits on hand that looked like what I was wearing when I was 4 years old.
What were you wearing when you were 4 years old?
It was 1989. I don't know. I don't want to talk about
really
it.
Big diapers.
It was definitely an Ultimate Warrior t-shirt.
Really big diapers. Oh God, that was good. So yeah, I went back when I was a teenager too, and I loved it then. So as a 4-year-old, as a teenager, and now as
it's got something for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. It's got something for every life phase of.
Well, let me ask you a question. Did your wife's cousins? They're younger girls, correct?
Yeah, if you got to the end of that,
so
progression, yes.
Daughter, right. So did they go?
Yeah.
With you, and what did they think? So this teenage girl, the least likely to be, in the demographic of Gatorland.
Actually, they love it. If you look, we put a video up on YouTube of Chester, this massive American alligator that was brought there because he was eating like neighborhood dogs. So he was brought there like 20 years ago because of that. And we got in the pen with Chester, and in the video you could see one of the girls get in front of my camera. Like I was up really close, and they like told me to stop, like getting closer to the gator. And then as I'm filming, here she is in front of my camera. It was great.
That's great.
Yeah, it was great. And they had a huge Aldabra tortoise. Got to meet the Aldabra. Got to, have my daughter meet the Aldabra. And the coolest thing ever, my daughter has this thing where she likes to like poke people in the eye and like grab their eye. And it's really funny and cute, except the morning when I woke up and she had pink eye, and I didn't realize until she was like clawing at my eyeball for 5 minutes in the dark. But it was great. But she did the same thing to this 500-pound.
How did she get pink eye? Were you sleeping face down?
That's gross.
Yeah.
That's gross. That's gross.
Okay, go ahead. That was funny. Go ahead.
Yeah, funny. Woo! That was classic.
Folks at home, I hope you're doing it with us.
Yeah. So there's this 500-pound animal in front of her, and she's literally with 2 fingers trying to take its eyeball out. It was ridiculous. And my daughter, who at the time had just turned 1 year old and weighs about 20 pounds, is trying to take the tortoise's eyeball off. So
that would be an interesting fight.
like celebrity death match, the baby against the 500-pound tortoise.
The Aldabra.
Just don't paint her green or cover her in dandelion greens. Other than that, probably
I guess the tortoise would probably win that.
Yeah, my daughter would just pick something up and eat it and maybe choke on it.
Your daughter or the Aldabra? Same thing. We just walk around eating stuff. That wasn't dumb. You just couldn't help but keep eating it. That's why I get to eat another one.
Yeah, you're gonna say a lot of dumb stuff tonight, John. Whether you do or don't, you're gonna say a lot of dumb stuff.
As much candy as in that bowl is how many dumb things I'm gonna say.
Yeah, within 15 minutes.
Sorry, I don't have any Halloween candy on me now.
Send the wife out. Just go down to 7-Eleven.
We don't have a 7-Eleven. Not to mention she's not home.
Oh. I was gonna say, have her make
cats can't drive.
Have her make some of those banana muffins she made while I was over.
Yeah, those are good too.
Yeah.
She makes all sorts of good baked goods, man.
They're made with real banana, so you know it's good.
That would be actually. So, do you have any healthy food that you could use? Because that would be perfect. That would really illustrate the point that we're trying to make here.
I don't have any Halloween candy.
Here's another bite of my banana.
I have these veggie sticks. Yeah,
those are good.
I do have Oreos downstairs, I think.
No.
I'm not sure how that fits.
It doesn't.
Wait a minute, John, now you eat one because Anthony did something a fat kid would do, right?
I know, I took two.
We're just it's like dueling banjos. We're just going bite for bite right now.
I wasn't even done with my Nestle Crunch and I had to have a warhead. So what happened after Gatorland?
So we did Gatorland. So I'm sitting in Gatorland. I have this huge elaborate plan to meet Jared, one of the Turtle Room guys who's awesome and is basically, on the Enneagram, I'm a 7, right? And what that means is a 7 is somebody who only likes to do what's fun. And if it's fun, then they basically can only focus on that fun thing until basically something else is more fun. Their biggest fear in life is being stuck in an unfun place. So I'm a 7, right? If I'm a 7, what's that?
What is it called?
The Enneagram. It's 9 numbers and it's basically 9 different personalities. So anyway, so the point I'm getting to is I'm a 7 and I'm like a legit 7. All my coworkers and stuff laugh at me about it, but I am a little 7 compared to Jared, who's like a huge, like brightly colored 7 on, triple sevens on a slot machine at Vegas. Like Jared is the most 7 out of all the 7s in the world. He's a fun guy, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm super pumped to go and hang out with him while I'm down there, right? So I'm sitting there during this Gator show, and I have plans for 2 days later.
That's just the start of so many wonderful sentences. So I'm sitting there during this Gator show.
So I'm sitting there, and the guy's wrestling the Gator.
You do not know where that sentence is going to go.
And I'm sending a text. Yeah. So I text Jared just to make sure like we were on the right page, and then I texted the guy from the Colonial Research Institute, which is Dr. Peter Pritchard's place, and I realized that I messed up the plans. So I thought I had them planned for the same day. Jared and I were going to go to Pritchard's place together, Dr. Pritchard's place, and then we were going to.
You can call him Old Man Pritchard for the sake of this podcast.
I can't do that out of respect. He's stoic. Like you and I are both taller than him, barely. He's like 6'6". He's a big man, but he's like statuesque.
Nice.
He's a legend.
He's big time.
I love an older statuesque gentleman. He is a legend indeed.
That ended up being for both of you. So I ended up working it out, and it was good. So I went to Dr. Pritchard's place and not with Jared. And my wife and daughter came, and it was so funny because Shannon, my wife, loves telling the story about how like I was trying to impress him with my turtle knowledge, and he did not give a damn about what I had to say at all. All he cared. Sorry, I was choking on Twix, the only candy with the cookie crunch. You should eat to that because that was something a fat guy would say. Yeah. So he did not care at all about what I had to say about turtles at all. He just wanted to like talk to my wife and most importantly like show like pretty like and like cartoon turtle artifacts and things that he had laying around to my daughter, who again was 1 year old at the time. So it was, it was just awesome. It was such a great experience. And I lost them at one point because Adam, the nicest guy I ever met in my life, Adam, was showing me around. And when I was like, you know, picking up this huge alligator snapping turtle for a photo op, and then I just like lost my family and Dr. Pritchard. They just like disappeared. And then I finally found them, and they're like in Dr. Pritchard's house, and he's showing my wife and daughter his magnet collection on his refrigerator, like inside his actual house, because there's like a bunch of different buildings. I just thought it was the coolest thing. You know, it was like totally unexpected.
What was his magnet collection like?
I don't know. I didn't see it because I was busy taking pictures with the alligator snapping turtles and Galapagos tortoises and everything else that is just like ridiculously cool.
I'm curious.
Just saying.
Okay.
So there was that, and then we also went to Jay's place, turtle and tortoises .com.
Inc.
Turtles and Tortoises Inc. and his website is turtlesandtortoises.com, and it was the most amazing place. I don't want to get into details out of respect for his privacy and stuff, but that was amazing, and Jared got me in for that. Those guys were super hospitable, and it was awesome. But the last piece that I wanted to talk more about is I also went down to Clearwater to give a talk at the Clearwater chapter of the Florida Turtle and Tortoise Society. It was amazing, and it made me so jealous to be, again, I feel like I talk about this in every podcast. If this is the 19th episode, then I've talked about it at least 19 times. Living up north really stinks, and those guys don't know how lucky they have it because the Clearwater chapter down there is amazing, and they do some awesome stuff. They are really a good team. They work together. They like each other. They like to hang out with each other. And I just don't think they know how lucky they are to have that. Maybe they do, but I'm just very jealous. And it was a privilege to give a talk to them. My topic was the turtle room in general, and I felt like there were a lot of people there that were able to benefit from what I had to say about what we're doing. And we made a lot of new partners during that talk. And I wanted to quickly give a shout out to Garrett Kirchner, who is a young man. His father, Mark, is a good friend of mine, and Garrett is a great kid who is like obsessed with turtles. He and his sister, and they're obsessed with turtles and the outdoors and fun stuff. They get great grades, and Garrett's been a little sick lately, and just wanted to say, get well soon, and keep working hard in school and sports and with everything else. And we look forward to talking turtles with you for the next several decades.
How dare you use this as a platform to send well wishes to a child? This is about why do I know? Every time you eat, it doubles it because it has to be. You eat so fat right now. You're just like shoving the whole thing in, and the wrapper's like just falling out. You're not
I
even
did it on
opening
purpose. That was my whole plan. I thought of this in the shower today, and I'm like, well, it's Halloween candy. Let me do something funny with it. And my plan was every time to take a bite was to crinkle the wrapper on purpose. because this thing picks up the sounds, and I know like it'll show me blown up if I crinkle the wrapper enough.
That's a good call.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Sometimes there's like a sound. Every time we talk to Kevin on one of these, he always has sounds in the background, and it'll just like go to him on the big screen.
Looking at the
Yeah, he's not even looking at it though. He's like this.
What was I gonna say?
Sorry.
How? Please. So is that it for Tucson? I mean, can you tell us a little bit about what you presented?
That was in Tucson. That was Florida.
That's what I said. Florida.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the presentation was, or are we trying to keep that for for only audiences that were there?
What, the presentation?
Yeah, I'm saying. So you told them about what we're doing and what's going on here for the TurtleRoom. I mean, you just give us some of the highlights, or no?
Yeah, I mean, well, I talked about different resources that we developed. Like, for instance, we have the maps that we use, the interactive maps, where you could pick any part of the world and see what animals are native there and are also invasive there. I talked about the videos. I talked about our progression, our history, all the way from our inception in 2011, year by year, and the changes that happened, every year in succession. And actually, Steve helped me a lot with that part too, and just kind of helping me formulate my ideas before I went out there. But it was great. It was great. I'm trying to think what else. Talked about the kind of like the marquee species that we work with, and those projects, and kind of the specifics of each, because we work with maybe 20 species that we focus our efforts on. But out of those 20 species, there's a specific story behind each one, where 3 out of the 20 might be TSA projects where we actually got the animals from the TSA or work in collaboration with the TSA. Some of the species are species that a lot of our TurtleRoom staff keep, and then some are just projects that we are involved in stud books for and stuff like that. So just differentiating that, and I think through that talk, you end up learning more about what we do as a whole, because the TurtleRoom is really it's a very complicated effort and organization now, where we're not one-dimensional at all. We're really multifaceted, and it's really complicated. And an hour talk goes by really fast, even for somebody who's unorganized like me. Public
speaking is your thing now. I thought that was you. You've been just delivering speeches here and there and everywhere.
Sometimes. Funny story, I got an award the other day, like 3 days ago at work, and completely dropped the ball. I mean, I sounded like a bumbling idiot it was great. It was great. And then I'm all self-conscious afterwards. I'm asking all my coworkers and stuff, like, hey, oh man, I feel that was so bad. I'm like, no, it wasn't that bad. And I just know they're lying right to my face. It was so bad. But this one in Clearwater was good, because if it's about turtles, then I'm focused. If it's about my work as a social worker and my livelihood and paying the bills so that I can put food on the table, not necessarily as high on the priority list. It makes sense,
I got you. Okay, so is that it for Florida? Anything else? Any other interesting tidbits?
You're making me feel like I didn't do enough.
No, I'm.
He wants to make sure he doesn't
I want to make
miss
sure that you didn't have anything else you wanted to say before we moved on.
We can move on.
Okay. No.
Keep it moving.
No rush. keep rolling.
I guess that puts me next, since I went to Tucson right after he got back and before you went on your honeymoon. So
just a quick note. I believe it's pronounced Tucson.
No.
I was picking this up
just for your benefit. I hope you're enjoying those pumpkins for me, man.
I am. I was picking this up to eat it because Steve was talking chronologically again, and then you said something stupid. So this is a double. I'm gonna take a double-sized bite. I'm sorry. What'd you say? You're gonna take a double-sized bite? Yeah. Don't mind if I do. Snickers. Okay, let's go. Tucson, go.
All right, Tucson. So back in the spring, the TSA invited us out to Tucson and also to chair one of the sessions at the conference. So I chaired the session on captive husbandry, and we titled the session Captive Husbandry, Collaboration, Conservation. So part of chairing these sessions, in addition to introducing the speakers at the event, is actually planning the talks that are going to be given. And it was a real fun process in and of itself. And in fact, I think I was happier to get those guys a chance to speak than I was to get to speak myself even. But so my wife and I flew into Tucson on Wednesday morning. The conference began on Thursday night with an icebreaker type of thing. So we got into Tucson just before lunch on Wednesday, and that afternoon we went over to the Tucson Botanical Gardens. Whole lot of neat plants there, particularly a lot of succulents, since those are native out in that region. I don't know if it was quite worth what you paid for the entry fee, but it was still a neat little trip. It was a bit toasty though at 3 in the afternoon in Tucson in the middle of August. It was about 109 degrees, I think, that day.
What? Fahrenheit?
That's Fahrenheit. That's right.
Wow.
Then the next day was the TSA field trip out to the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum, and that was really neat. Lots of they specialize in animals native to the Sonora Desert region. So since there are a lot of snakes and other reptiles that are native to that region, they had a ton of reptiles there. We got to go off exhibit in addition to seeing all the on exhibit stuff. Some of the neat things off exhibit was some Kindersternens sonoriense longifemoral, which is the Sonoida mud turtle. They're native to basically one lake or pond or whatever in the United States, and they also are in a couple bodies of water just south of the border in Mexico as well. They had a few of those there, which were really kind of cool to see because you don't get to see them very often. And like I said, lots of native snakes. I guess there are something like 20 native rattlesnake species to the area. So, and they have just about every single one of those in their collection there. One of the other cool parts about Tucson is because of the wildlife in the region, you basically could see reptiles anytime it started to rain. They'd all come out, get some water, and look for food. And shower, and all of a sudden you see a bunch of little lizards running around. So it's kind of cool, partly because we don't get to experience that really here in Pennsylvania. We don't think of lizards running around as just kind of a normal everyday sight. For them, it's that's like us seeing a squirrel.
That's cool. When I was in Florida, I was chasing around the anoles like
They're
a 3-year-old.
impossible to catch.
Yeah, I didn't catch any.
Just like squirrels.
Never caught a squirrel.
Yeah.
Won't stop me from trying though.
So so that was the lead up to the conference, and then
hold on, Steve.
Yeah.
20 species of rattlesnake?
I thought it was something like that. I might have misremembered the number, but it was.
That's awesome though. I didn't realize that happened.
What was that?
I didn't realize that area was such a biodiversity hotspot for rattlesnakes. Seriously.
They're actually and this isn't reptile related, but the Sonoran Desert is actually has some of the largest biodiversity of butterflies in the United States.
Whoa.
Who would have thought?
Very cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, you don't think of butterflies as a desert.
Right. Definitely not. I was looking for that. Sorry, I was looking for that rattlesnake number, but
I have 6.
I don't know. Could have gotten it wrong. Here we go. Arizona is home to 13. Yeah. There it is. It's 13 species of rattler.
Yeah, but maybe it's like a few subspecies thrown in there too.
It could be.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, there were
Tucson golf course rattler. They're very.
In fact, you know what? Since we're talking about those, here, I'm going to pop these over and screen share.
Let's see.
Over here. Yeah, there's all sorts of pictures here.
Seahorse also not usually associated with
Facebook. What did you kick this out of the album?
Oh, is that little Stevie Anders speaking at the conference?
That would have probably was, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Little Stevie Enders.
All right. They did have some saltwater type stuff in there too, which was kind of cool. A little seahorse.
That's awesome.
There was how we get flies or whatever in the lights. They have scorpions in the fluorescent lights.
Oh God.
Here you can see one of the various snakes that was there. Here's some of the rattlers.
They're so pretty, man. I love rattlesnakes' eyes.
Oh yeah, some of these animals are absolutely gorgeous. So
And
yeah,
that one,
I think
that's the Steve Nash rattler. I believe the last one was the Jake Plummer, northern Jake Plummer rattlesnake.
This was a cool looking snake too. I can't remember what kind it is because I just don't know my snakes all that well.
That of course is the Western Pueblo rattlesnake.
This guy was gorgeous, very white.
Ooh,
that is cool.
Go back. That one's really pretty.
Yeah, beautiful animal.
What kind of morph is that?
It wasn't.
I was just kidding.
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
I was gonna say cookies and cream.
I was expecting Tony to say it. I had a piece of candy lined up. I was waiting for some sort of dairy comparison.
This one was really neat. I didn't realize some snakes ended up with like.
Oh yeah, the little
horns or whatever they call them.
Yeah, the Elvis eyebrows.
Yeah. This is a neat guy. Lisa managed to get a picture of him with his tongue out, so that was kind of cool. There he is again.
Wow, that's so pretty.
Yeah.
Tell me that doesn't go back one.
There?
That doesn't look like a milkshake with eyes that can kill you.
Milkshake.
Cookies and cream Oreo.
That's you, John.
I think this is the green rat snake. He was a cool animal too.
Rat snake. John Weir.
Oh, there
we go.
Gopherus morphkai, the Sonoran desert tortoise. In fact, they had an albino one of those.
That's so sick.
I made sure to send Jared a picture of that.
Looks healthy.
Shut up, Dubs. That's not what I meant. Here's
Rhinoclemys pulcherima Roger Barberi, which you don't see very often at all.
Roger Barberi?
Yeah.
What?
Named after the guy from Star Trek with the thing around his eyes?
What's his name, Roger?
I don't know. I don't know what his name is, but you know what I'm talking about, though, right? With the band across his eyes. That was from the least popular Star Trek days. Yeah, I think it's the same guy that did Reading Rainbow.
That's LeVar Burton.
LeVar Burton, yeah.
Yeah. I got nothing else.
No, that's fine.
This was Terrapine Nelsoni. They call him Nelson.
Homie has some messed up teeth.
And I'm not sure what kind of frogs they were. They almost looked fake. Like they looked like ornaments. They were sitting there absolutely still.
I wish I knew more about frogs. Frogs were so cool, but I feel like especially Tony really disrespects frogs and thinks they're shitty or crappy. Sorry, crappy. And but I'm gonna have some candy.
Here are those Sonoida mud turtles, by the way.
Ooh.
And by the way, this here is Christine Light from the Turtle Conservancy. She's holding one of them in that picture.
What was the for, John?
It's a pretty turtle.
I bet that's what you're talking about.
Here's some more saltwater stuff. I mean, we took so many pictures; it could be sitting here for a while. But...
Can I pick a bone with Steve real quick?
Yeah.
He's our producer, obviously, and he's the one that produces wonderful photos when we're talking about things. I talked about 4 different things I did in Florida, and we didn't see any photos. I'm just saying.
I didn't know what all you were going to talk about. I figured you'd send me a link like you normally do or something.
Oh,
Man.
Surprise. Tony didn't prepare.
This was a great picture here. Look at this frog.
Wow.
I have never.
See, that is just a cool animal.
Yeah, it is.
You know what?
That was a great
The
shot.
way that their skin is just that is what total. I can't get past that. You know what I mean? Like obviously scales are very cool and shells are the coolest, but like how adaptable their skin is, and they do so many different things out of it. And there's a South American one that gives birth out of its back skin, which is so many crazy frogs. We gotta get a frog expert on here.
Yes, these are the experts we need. We don't need turtle experts.
Yeah, we've heard enough about turtles, right, guys? Let's hear about. Oh, nice.
I was going to ask you, Steve. Well, actually, I wasn't going to ask you. One of our viewers just texted me and asked me if you got to see any Gila monsters.
I did not see any of the wild ones. I know a bunch of people went out herping in the rain the one night and saw a few of them.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So was this museum was like out in the environment in the desert?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Out in the. In fact, it's with.
Oh, there you go.
In the
It's in
the boundaries of the Saguaro National Park as well. So.
See, right there, man.
Yeah, that's not in the wild though.
Yeah, but I meant, did he see him? I didn't mean like wild, or did I? I mean, I guess two-part question.
There you go.
First time caller. 2 questions I really want to hit on.
First time, long time.
Nice. Oh, that's from. Okay, that's beautiful. Wow.
This is in the. This is on the museum's grounds.
What is that? Long Island?
Long Island is a desert only socially.
Come on, let's end it right there. That's all we need. That's all we need.
Speaking of squirrels, by the way, here's a little tiny squirrel native to that region. He looks so frail compared to the big fat squirrels we see.
Yeah, I loved that one in Secret of Nim. Nothing?
Nope.
Have a candy. Oh.
There were a lot. They had a prairie dog exhibit. These guys were hilarious. 2 of them got in a fight, as you can see here. One of them's on his back.
It's a good thing they have personalities.
They're a hoot, man.
Yeah, well, okay. Candy for me.
Oh, I'll drink to that.
This is the best night of
There's
my
a lot
life.
of prairie dogs. There's also a lot of hummingbird pictures. Those are coming up. Oh, bobcats.
Ooh. Wow, that's pretty.
Yeah.
It looks so much like a common house cat.
River otter, taking a nap.
Sweet.
Ram.
Nice.
That I want to see. That's like that's my highest priority of non-reptilian animals I want to see in the wild. A ram up in the mountains would be so cool.
They're moving to LA soon.
Is that a kingfisher?
It's a hummingbird.
Hummingbird. Oh, it's too small. It's too small. I got you.
Hummingbird? I thought hummingbirds were like sharks and they couldn't stop moving or they'd die.
No, they can't.
Nope, that's not accurate.
These guys are. Some of these are so colorful.
You're not. It had nothing to do with being fat.
Like look at the purples on this. On this hummingbird.
Oh. Therein lies the reason that we should all be eating, because Tony's found a reason to make it about eating.
Look at that color. And the funny part is when they turn their head, you can barely even know. Like it's almost like almost like their hologram. They turn their head, you see the color really bright. They turn it a different way, it's like really dull or just black.
Go back. He looks like Ronan from Guardians of the Galaxy.
So there's a lot of hummingbird pictures.
You're just crinkling.
I only have 1 Reese's left. I'm trying to.
All right, we are running out of time, so I probably ought to move on instead of just showing off pictures from the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum.
Oh,
no, this is great.
If anybody wants to see these more, they are. I think I shared these on the Turtle Room's Facebook page not long after we got back. So go back to the middle of August, and you should be able to see the album. The album's on my personal page. It's publicly shared as well, I believe. So.
Whew.
And Lisa got an awesome picture of a hummingbird with its wings flapping.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pretty high res your camera there.
Yeah, well, this is the digital SLR, so it's the big one.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So anyway, that was the pre.
Could I just point out from our production perspective, I really enjoyed that segment, looking through a bunch of pictures, and that was fun. I think we should do that more often.
We should.
Why not? Sit here and narrate pictures. Yeah, I think we can do that pretty regular.
I'm going to start sending you my wedding pictures here right now.
I think basically what we need to do is take 4-month, 5-month hiatuses.
Do we have enough things?
Yeah, so that we have, just the energy is here right now. We have, a couple silly ideas. We don't have to be super organized or
we can probably talk about this after the show.
No, but I'm loving the candy idea. I'm loving the candy idea, but I think candy idea could be something different, right? Yeah. Like next time it'll be pickle juice.
Okay, so is that it for Tucson?
That's actually just the lead up to the conference there. The conference was spectacular. Some hobbyists probably wouldn't enjoy it as much because it's not just like captive husbandry stuff. They really get into genetics and all sorts of conservation biology. But if you enjoy the academic side of things instead of just the husbandry, you'd really get a lot out of this conference. In fact, to me, one of the best parts was just getting to meet all these people that some of them I've communicated with before, through email and stuff, but I never really met in person. Some of it was also just getting to meet some big names in turtles and tortoises that you'd never think you'd get to see. Like, here's a picture of me having a conversation with the Dick Vogt during one of the evening activities. I mean, to get to meet Dick Vogt, that was pretty cool. I also got to meet guys like Jeff Lovitch, who we love for his work with Turtles of the United States and Canada, and that book that is kind of like our Bible for the North American species.
That's true.
Just absolutely an awesome experience, to say the least, and well worth every penny to get there and to spend time at the conference. So I should give a quick shout out to some of my speakers as well. Jordan Gray did a phenomenal job. Was really glad I invited him. He ended up doing 2 really well done talks, and in fact, as far as from an actual speaker standpoint, with how engaging he was and how enjoyable he was to listen to. He might have been the best overall speaker there when you include everything from content to presentation. It was just spectacular. I told him after the conference, I said, you better start preparing something for next year, because if I'm chairing a session again, I'm inviting you out again. And then our good friend Curtis Ippolito.
Tell us what they spoke about, too, if you don't mind.
Jordan did 2 talks on diamondback terrapin stuff. One of them was on the captive husbandry for their head-started hatchlings for their TERPS program. The other talk was specifically on the TERPS program and their methods and the things they do to conserve diamondback terrapins in the Savannah, Georgia area.
So cool. And you were getting to Curtis.
Yeah, and then Curtis, he spoke on the captive husbandry of Kinisternon acutum, the Tabasco mud turtle. And he did a great job presenting on that. It was really neat to see all the different things he's learned over the past few years with that project. Our good friend Chris Leone, while he wasn't able to be there, recorded a video talk on the captive husbandry and maintenance of the Western Hermann's tortoise. He did a spectacular job with that. I followed later talking about our studbook program for those animals. And then the TSA's own Chris Hagen spoke on Leucocephalon uonoi, the Arakan forest turtle. Or not Arakan, sorry, Sulawesi forest turtle. And that was another great talk as well. And then Paul Gibbons of the Turtle Conservancy also spoke on methods they've used with plowshare tortoises, particularly the the defacing project where they've engraved the tortoises so they don't have their value on the black market.
That's wild.
So yeah, it was and that was just our session. There were tons of other awesome talks across the 2 days of talks, which were Friday and Saturday. I don't know, 3 days of talks, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was a really awesome event overall. And we've already planned to make our trip next year, and I know Chris Leone is already planning on heading out there once we get the dates and the location. So,
can I just say something? And Steve, great job. That's awesome. And I know you worked so hard on that, and I know the TSA is super appreciative, and I'm super appreciative because you forged our bond with them and continue to grow our partnership with them going forward. So we're all super thankful and grateful for you and for the TSA and that partnership. But you mentioned Chris a couple times, and I wanted to say, John, did you have any idea that Chris has a video that's like gone viral? Did you know this? So it's got like 1 million views.
Now we're on Chris. I'm not Chris. Yeah, he's talking Chris Leone.
Chris Leone, our guy. Yeah. So first of all, that happened, but he's been on the news in New Jersey like 3 times in the past week. And
New York, New Jersey, and Philadelphia.
How awesome is that?
Really?
Like they came to his house to report, and then they actually took him in on the set. And he brought animals.
What's the deal?
Yeah, Steve will pull it up. Steve.
If you simply Google, I think tortoise twins. I don't know.
Separating tortoise twins.
A ton of, the first bunch of results are on his stuff. Here's the video from YouTube. Discovery put it on their blog. The Dodo put it on their blog. I mean, it got pulled from a bunch of different places as well.
NBC, CNN.
The news went nuts with it.
All sorts
Views
of stuff.
are at 675,000.
Wow. Can we?
You want to see it?
Yeah, can we do it?
Yep, working on it.
Okay. That's awesome. So what is? I mean, give me Tony. Set up the clip then, real quick.
Oh, it's basically here you go. Chris has an awesome project with Western Hermann's tortoises, and he happened to get an egg.
Do we need to have what do you call it? Audio for the clip?
No. So we definitely don't. He just there isn't even audio. I think it's just music. So yeah. So basically, they hatch out together, joined by the yolk sac, and then he basically ties them off and separates them, and that's basically what the video covers. And just I think a lot of people didn't realize that 2 tortoises would hatch from the same egg. So people have really been kind of interested in that, and it really took off. So I mean, his Facebook post got something like 4,000 shares or something ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah. But really well deserved, Good guy who does everything the right way, and when he has the time in his busy day, when he's not hatching 1 billion turtles or tortoises and selling them for extremely good prices or working on conservation projects and everything else that he's doing, he tries to educate people as well. So I thought that was really cool that he did that, and I was happy for him that it worked out so well, and
that's great.
Got him some notoriety and stuff.
Former. We should have when you say the gentleman Chris Leone, former podcast guest.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
yeah.
He's a former guest, but he's also part of our staff, and what's good for a Garden State Tortoise and Chris is good for the Turtle Room. In fact, when they were on the news in the studio, they were wearing Turtle Room T-shirts there. So, it's we've done whatever we can to continue kind of growing together, and so it ended up being we're still blown away by that opportunity, for sure. Just insane. I think the video had logged almost 500,000 views in the first 3 or 4 days it was up.
Wow, that's awesome. That's good stuff, guys.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that. I actually planned to mention that, and I'm happy I remembered and didn't forget, because you know how I roll. So just so everyone at home knows, when we're eating candy and giggling like little schoolgirls, the plan is that when I say something that makes me sound really fat and gluttonous, then John has a piece of candy. If Steve says something nerdy, then John and I both have a piece of candy. And if John says something dumb, then I have a piece of candy. And basically, we're celebrating, you know, what makes us and our individuality, as well as the fact that it's 2 days after Halloween and we have a lot of candy. So that's what we're doing. In case you're wondering why it's so funny to us and you tuned in after the beginning, that's what's going on. Just saying.
Indeed.
All right. John, why don't you wrap us up with a little bit about your honeymoon trip, because I know there was a little bit of reptile-y awesomeness there.
There was some stuff. First of all, I would like to say, if anyone is looking, I keep saying everyone is shutting me down on this, but I think it's so. I went to Belize, and if you don't know where Belize is, it's south of Mexico and east of Guatemala. It's Central America. I think it's a great, like, if you have like an extended weekend or like 5 days, it was relatively cheap and just a great place to go. We did 4 nights on the beach let's see what there was. Honestly, so there's not a lot of turtle species in Belize, according to our tour guide. Who was great.
Who's also a liar?
No, 12 species is not that much. But we didn't. We were, as far as we tried to, we saw stuff and we were trying to find stuff. That let them know we were driving around. So this is part of it. We were driving around in the jungle. It's called in the Cayo district. It's a mountainous jungle region in the southwest of the country, and I was looking for whatever reptile stuff we could find, but we didn't see a ton. Actually, the coolest part, and I think this is a very typical, honeymoon story. But so we went snorkeling, and in the process of getting in the water, and I was the only. For some reason, they give you, those of you that haven't been snorkeling, they give you the option to either wear a protective flotation device and go, or to not. And I was the only one on our boat that decided to go ahead and take the life jacket. And it saved my life. It literally saved my life, because I got in the water, and you put on the mask, and my face is so big, you would think that it would the mask would suck on real tight and be keeping the water out of my eyes and stuff. But it didn't work that way because of my mustache. My mustache of water was filtering up and into my nose and my face. So I was snorkeling. But I was just really floating and like going like like having to come out of the water and then like hold my breath and look under, and it was very painful. I eventually was able to figure it out enough that I could see one of the coolest experiences I've ever had in my life, which was we saw 2 green sea turtles. Just like you're just snorkeling. It's open. It's a coral reef area. It's the second largest coral reef in the world, coral reef system, and after the Great Barrier Reef. And there's just a ton. I mean, there's a ton of wildlife. And they say that sometimes if you're lucky you could see a sea turtle. Less and less as the years go by. They used to see them a lot more, But yeah, we saw 2. I guess that's kind of I didn't really lead up to that the right way, but we saw 2 green sea turtles that were like you're under a little bit, and then he was just he or she, I couldn't tell, was just down there just watching them swim and eat and then come up for water right in front of me, like 2, like 2 feet in front of me. It was, to see that in the wild. Obviously, it's a kind of a region where they're used to. It's a national park, so people are there a lot. But I thought it was an extremely spiritual experience, and I thought it was one of just the coolest things you ever see. Just to see a turtle swimming in the water in the wild was truly amazing.
Speaking of spiritual experience,
are you going to have another Reese's?
No, I think that this story begs the question: how many people do you think have died because they had a mustache?
I know.
Right?
The Salem witch trials, I think, had something to do with that. The women with mustaches were.
Oh, women with mustaches. Yeah, that makes sense.
No, it was like I was struggling, and my poor wife was ahead of me, and she was a little nervous to do it in general. And then she's like, she got in and was like, loved it, and was like, oh, and like, you know, swimming and going. And she's looking back like, John, are you okay? And I was just like, just go, just go. And it was really, it was actually not, it was not really that chill of a situation. I was a little upset. But you know, I'm supposed to be the man. I'm supposed to be able to handle myself, and especially in any wild situation. And I was struggling, and she was trying to offer me help, and I got very cross with her for doing that. The cooler, not necessarily related to reptiles, but we also went to a place off the coast called Shark Ray Alley. So it's apparently fishermen used to clean their catch there from a long time ago, like from the Mayan days, like thousands of years ago. It was the main place that they went to clean their fish for some reason. So stingrays and nurse sharks have developed the habit over a long period of time of hanging out there and eating off the boats, and now it's a tourist attraction. So you drive your boat up and they pour some chum in the water, and then there's like 15 nurse sharks come right up and eat it, and so you have the chance to jump in the water and swim with them. And again, my beautiful, lovely, brave wife jumped. I was really excited to swim with the sharks, and she said she would do it, and then she was getting increasingly more nervous as we were going on. I think that's not that's understandable. And then right before we get to the spot, she says, John, I really don't feel comfortable. Are you going to be upset if I don't do this, if I don't get in the water? And I said, yes, I will be. I think that's the point, is to come swim with the sharks. I would like for you to do it. So we stop, and the guy's like, all right, they know to come, so you got to get right in if you're going to have any chance of actually seeing them or touching them or whatever. So he pours the chum in, and I just jump in, and Hannah, God bless her, jumps in behind me, and I swim over to the other side to make sure that I can get there, and I just barely got there, but I touched one nurse shark. It was very cool, like sandpaper. I know probably a lot of people have heard that, but very cool. I touched the shark, and I come up and I look back to like see if Hannah's like honey, isn't this great? And she's out of the water, screaming at me and saying, "You left me! Why did you leave me? I was screaming. You couldn't hear me." And I couldn't hear her because I was underwater, and I don't think that she knew she thought that I was ignoring her so I could go swim to the sharks. But overall, really a cool experience, and I have to state again, very proud of her she did get in the water, and I ended up handling a stingray as well. They're very, come right up to you, and I held one, and they have They do the thing where they go down and they kick up all the dust so that they can get any of the crustaceans that are underneath it, and then the dust settles on their back.
Yeah. So they're hiding. Yeah.
Right. And then they come up and it's still on there and they're swimming away. So the guy that was our guide, our snorkeling guide, grabbed one and wrote Belize with a smiley face on the back of this enormous stingray, and I thought it was hilarious just because we were out there for 20 minutes and it kept swimming by the stingray with Belize on its back. So I grabbed one and I wrote J Hearts H, because I'm a very romantic guy.
On your honeymoon, that's so sweet.
It was, actually. I was really proud of myself. Hannah never got to see it because she was out of the water at that point. But that is not dumb. How dare you?
I got hungry.
So then we left the beach and we went to a place called the Mystic River Resort, which was like a 4-star resort in the middle of the jungle, in the place I was telling you before, the Cayo district. Yeah. Really, I mean, I can't even just describing it will be a really poor effort of telling you what it's like. But I mean, there was no one there. It was literally just the two of us and the staff of the resort because it was the rainy season, which we didn't know about when we planned it. We were just like, it was after our wedding, so we went. But it ended up working out perfectly because we got to do a lot of really cool stuff. So my point, really, that I wanted to say, I don't want to bore you. Obviously, no one wants to hear about someone that they don't know is Honeymoon. So if you want to do, we did a lot of active things. We did a lot of, half relaxing, half active, and really it was affordable and a great place. I think that they're really good at tourism. I don't know. I mean, I haven't been out of the country very often, but really it was a very painless experience and relatively cheap. So if you you're looking for a place that's interesting and a place that isn't hard. It was kind of hard to get to, I guess. 2 flights and a couple boats and all that stuff. But I would look into Belize. It was different. Um, they're really into. They're very obviously they're like any other Caribbean country. They're very excited to, you're a large part of their economy, so they're very nice to you. They want to sell you fun stuff for a cheap amount. It was a great place to visit, and I think that's the place you should go is places that are going to sell you fun stuff for a cheap amount. Those are the number one.
Feeling like a rich American tourist is my nightmare.
No, and that's part of the problem. I was really feeling a lot of guilt for a large portion of it, but it wasn't like it wasn't anything to do with them. They, you know what I mean? Like it's anytime, and you go anywhere and you're gonna feel like that. You're gonna feel like a rich American tourist, but it wasn't. It didn't feel that way. They were very, they're just so. It's just, again, I know this is a cliche thing, but it's such a different culture, and they're so relaxed that like they don't even. All that stuff comes from you, or it came from me. But I did get to do. I mean, by going to the river, or the Mystic River place, the Jungle Resort, I felt like they do a lot of. They're not like specifically designed for ecotourism, but it's kind of that feel. So you're putting money into the region, and it's going to this this place where they're not like. It's luxury, definitely. It was a really nice place, and it was kind of weird to be in a nice place in the middle of the jungle. I'm having these feelings like I don't know if I should I shouldn't be having a warm shower in the middle of the jungle, but there's things they have to deal with to get your wife to go there. There has to be a warm shower.
Right.
So
totally agree. Get that.
It's a happy medium, and the place. So we put some money in there. Into the the economy, and that's kind of how we had to look at it. I did honestly. There was a lot of times when I just felt really like poorly about myself driving around there, and we were getting we have this Belizean guy who is our I have to. So you gave a shout out. I have to give a shout out. Ben Cruz was our tour guide for 3 straight days. We went on 3 different excursions with him. He's been on National Geographic twice. He was brilliant, a genius. Knows everything, whatever I wanted to talk about, like any, environmental wise or, political wise, whatever. I was just asking him about like the geopolitics of Central America because I don't know anything about them, and he was really on point and knew everything, and it was just amazing. And you have this guy who's amazing, and he was also very, he was aware that everyone knows who he is. He's one of the best tour guides in Belize, apparently. So everywhere we went, people knew this guy, which was cool. We had him for 3 straight days, But you have this brilliant guy driving you around. It feels weird. It definitely feels weird driving you around past these houses that are not, and they're not as bad as a lot of third world country places that you think of in your head. It's not a third world country. It's very much on the rise, actually. But it was enough to be like, wow, this doesn't look like home. So you have those feelings of, why do I deserve to have a plane about my fabric softener. I don't know anything that we would complain about. So, all in all, a great experience though, and go to the beach there, man. I mean, the beach was awesome.
La Playa.
In Espanol, La Playa, and that's a good thing. Another good thing about Belize is they speak English. It was an English colony until 1981, most recent country in the Americas to receive its independence, and that's not stupid either. That was a nerd.
That was nerdy. That was nerdy. I was giving. That was a Steve bite meant for you.
Fair enough.
Hold on.
You're just looking for any excuse to eat peanut
Yeah,
butter cup.
it's definitely just about the candy for you, and I should have known. This whole podcast is just about the candy for you.
That's why I showed up.
Yeah.
And when my wife saw me taking all the candy out of the cabinet, she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Don't worry, it's for the podcast." She's like, "Oh," because normally I wouldn't be allowed to. Yeah, she tries to watch. It's my heart palpitations that we have to worry about.
That's true.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't have heart palpitations. Listen, one more trip I have to tell you guys about. This will be quick, though, okay?
All right, we're going to wrap it up after this, so it better be very quick.
Don't, because there's no, Scott Van Pelt is not waiting to get to run his show after this. Okay,
no, but I have to hang out with my wife tonight.
You can go. You guys can both go. I'll just talk to myself.
All right, let's go.
All right. Well, excuse me. Oh, it looks like it's 6 cents. You see the light above my head?
Come on.
An orb? Oh. Look, guys.
Why are you changing the camera now at this point?
Because I just noticed the orb. What do you expect me to do? So, for work, I went down to Washington, D.C., and I did what any self-respecting turtle nerd would do. And I reached out to a couple of my fellow turtle nerds who I knew were in the area. So I lined up, in just the couple days that I was down in the area, I lined up 2 stops. The first one was at the National Zoo with Lauren Augustine, who is wonderful. I was just able to speak to her briefly while I stopped by the zoo. First of all, that zoo is free, and it has amazing animals. So we're talking like pandas, like just awesome stuff that you don't see everywhere. And coming from up here, where like the best zoo around is the Bronx Zoo, and it costs like $20-something to get in, then you have to pay extra if you want to see the gorillas on top of it. That's an issue. So I got to see the gorillas down there for free, but not only were the gorillas free, the entire zoo was free. What? That's absurd. I know, Steve, you said the same thing about St. Louis.
Like that too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, I really had no idea that even happened. Steve probably told me, and I wasn't paying attention, but I didn't realize zoos did that. So anyway, it's free, and then I got a chance to talk to Lauren, who's amazing, and her passion and dedication is like out of this world. I was inspired just having a conversation with her. It was awesome to be there. So I just wanted to say that, and I want to say thanks for that opportunity. But while I was down there, I took one of my staff members who I supervise came for the trip with me. And while we were down there, we went to a MATS meeting, which is the Mid-Atlantic Turtle and Tortoise Society. And we went to a meeting, and you know what I was saying about Clearwater earlier, which is absolutely true, is also true of this group in Maryland, who really, again, don't know how lucky they are to have each other. But just being there, being able to meet, a lot of people who I know through the computer and stuff like that, and to be able to see the work that they do, it was amazing. And got to hang out with a few of them afterwards. Particularly my good friend Katrina Smith, who signed my Red Ear Slider book, because she wrote the Red Ear Slider book that's in all like the pet codes across the country. So I had her sign that for me, and we just had a great time. We went out to the Diamondback Grill, which of course, because you're in like Maryland Terrapin country, so it was like literally like everything in there was like turtle shells. It was awesome. But yeah, really, really, really awesome experience. And if you haven't heard of MATS, Mid-Atlantic Turtle and Tortoise Society, check them out. And they have a great adoption and rescue operation that's run by Katrina. And they have, if you're in that area and you can make it to any of their meetings with any of their speakers, it's a great opportunity. Don't let it pass you by. And it took me about 5 years to get down there, but it's kind of a haul, especially now. Not doing much traveling except recently. So anyway, I just wanted to say that.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you, Tony. We are gonna wrap up now. So we're tentatively planned our next episode for December 7th date, which will live in infamy. So check back. We'll keep you updated. We're going to be trying to do something actually very very special. It'll be our 20th episode, and you know what they said when we had on episode 1? They said these guys, they'll never make it to 20. They're just too organized. Tony's heart's going to give out. We didn't know what was going to happen. So we're very excited about that episode, and hopefully that will be the tentatively the date is Monday, December 7th.
Can't wait.
Yeah, looking forward to it, guys. Let's not talk until then, so we have plenty to say. Perfect.
Starting now.
Go. All right. Have a good one, guys. We love you. We miss you. We'll see you on December 7th.